Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of Scion of the Dark House, a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons Gothic horror podcast. I've made sure, since this is a horror campaign, to find the lines and veils of every player so that I don't overstep any boundaries that they may have. If you are triggered by things like violence, blood, gore, body horror, child endangerment, things of that ilk, make sure that you take a break if you need it. Your support it means a lot to us, but so does your mental health. So, back where we left off, a lot of things have happened. You all met back up with Rerek in Cathedral Square, where you made some plans to not only find a way to kill Gideon Herbert of the Illuminated Way, but also to mess with Madame Drintal, the very mean fashion designer who employs Percy's sister, Bella. After some failed attempts in that area, and they were asked to leave the shop, they had a lovely lunch where they overheard that the cathedral was closed for the day for unknown reasons. Percy, being a cleric who grew up in the cathedral, used some of his influence to get back into the cathedral, where they found some interesting things had happened. 2 acolytes, after acting shifty for about a week, flat out attempted to kill each other. One successfully. They locked that one. The other one in the wine cellar. After having some additional conversations, discussing what might happen, an alarmed woman ran into the room, screamed that the other person, the other acolyte, had escaped, and then was instantly gutted in the middle of the sanctuary by said escaped prisoner, who then attempted to kill everybody in the room, but didn't get very far as the group held him in place, pinned him down, and assaulted him with everything they had, until finally Jasmine knocked him to the ground and he cracked his head on the pavement. After a couple moments of making sure that the bodies were laid out properly, Archbishop Sherman and a familiar blue tiefling, who we have yet to figure out the identity of, barged in, and that was where we left off. So, Archbishop Sherman bursts into the room, carrying his staff, his green robes flowing. What is going on here? What's happening? And the blue tiefling comes in, makes eye contact with Percy, and stops. What would you all like to do?
Is it customary to like kneel or something or anything before the Archbishop, or is it fine?
only on special occasions.
Okay.
For ritual purposes, like he's entering the sanctuary in the middle of mass or something like that. But otherwise, no.
So yeah, I guess I'll kind of step forward and maybe do like a small nod, like, hello, Archbishop. I was just coming to check on the cathedral as I heard it was closed, and when I came in, that boy attacked. I heard that he was locked away, and it seems he escaped. My compatriots and I took care of him as quickly as we could, but unfortunately, he did kill another.
And Archbishop Sherman just kind of takes a deep breath and this day seems already cursed enough. Thank you, Percy, for your quick aid. Who knows how many we could have lost if it weren't for you and your compatriots.
I believe this poisoning, it might be from his book. It seems he was somehow linked to it.
And he kind of Archbishop Sherman kind of looks down, and that makes sense. Do you know anything else about
trying to like like I look at Arthur and I'm like, okay, gotta like Lark always talks about it's not always lying, just omissions of certain truths. And like I checked his texts and it seems it comes from a store called the Illuminated Way. I think I saw it just outside.
Yes, there were several new acolytes interested. I believe only Brother Hall and Brother Strauss bought from there. We have not had any other purchases from that location.
That's for the best.
Yes.
A tragedy, though. I'm sorry I couldn't prevent even more death. But
you did your best, and that is all that we can do. I thank you. I thank you all for your service. We already had quite a high injury and death toll today. I dread to think if there were any more. I will go and discuss this with other members of the clergy. You can stay if you'd like. I'm not sure how much we have to offer at the moment, but
appreciated. Thank you, Your Grace.
Of course. And he walks away, and the blue tiefling doesn't budge.
I just glare at him.
He definitely glares back. Back already?
Of course I have to run into you. What are you, running around like a lapdog these days?
I guess you could say that. I just got back from a lovely voyage to Caliburn, protecting the ships, of course.
I'm sure you were just as valuable to those men on those ships as you were to those at the hospital.
And he just kind of returns the glare. Anyway, is the book still around? It probably needs to be destroyed.
I just like...
No, we've already taken care of it.
He kind of gives you a raised eyebrow.
I assure you my compatriots are plenty capable.
I'm sure they are.
More than most.
No love lost between you two, I can tell.
Guess they're filling in the gaps.
It wasn't a very big gap. Now,
certainly never was.
Much more important matters to deal with.
I'm sure you do.
Well, so...
Percy,
have a
your
terrible
blue
day.
friend there is annoying.
Well, a very astute observation as always, Rerek.
He is a divination wizard after all.
And they do know truly what you're made of. So, toodaloo. Briskly turn and walk out.
He does kind of glare into the back of your head for a little bit and then turns and walks through the door.
Before we exit, I would like to collect that book that I just lied about, as well as the dagger that was used to kill that young woman.
Certainly. I'm actually going to really quick roll something.
Because reasons?
Yes, because reasons.
Hashtag because reasons.
Okay.
Yes.
So you do see the book. The knife is still laying basically near the previous wielder's hand. but the book is underneath a pew a bit away. And if you'd like, you can roll me a perception check as you reach under the pew to grab it.
All right, fair enough. 14.
It's actually not that hard to spot. And it seems a bit strange as you look at it. It's somebody carved something into the pew, the underside of the pew. It's a heart that says P plus E.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna make a note really quick. Okay. So I guess I'm assuming I got the book.
Yes.
Grabbed it from. Okay.
Yep.
So Percy walked out, but I'll kind of like point it out, to the other two, Lark and Rerek. Like, take a look at this, and if there's nobody here, I'll just kind of like lift up the pew a bit so they can sort of see under it.
Yeah, the pews are actually pretty easy to kind of move around.
Yeah, it's
E
just weird.
plus E.
Wait a minute, Lark.
What?
I think the P might be Percy.
Oh.
I thought that conversation smelled of an ex-lover.
Oh, that's why he's annoying.
Indeed. Well, that'll be an interesting conversation. How delicious.
Percy and blue guy sit in the tree. Whatever.
Lark, I imagine you'll have loads of fun with that. I'll let you be the one to deliver this message if you don't mind.
Well, I think I'll probably like at the very front, like probably I was trying to be snooty and like cool and walk out and not turn around, and I like, wait, where are my friends? And then I like at the very end, like, are you all coming?
Presently.
After that happens, I'm just gonna float forward and I'm just going to like bob a little closer to Percy than I normally get when I'm just conversational with him. Because like yet again, Lark flies and he's only like 2.5 feet tall from head to toe. So he's just like kind of swimming, I guess not swimming through the air. He's floating, whatever. He doesn't need to move his wings. We've established that long ago. And he's just gonna be like, Percy, who's E? Someone carved it into that pew, P and E forever. Or something
like,
to that effect.
Distinct blushing occurs. and
On his very pale face.
I haven't the foggiest. We should go.
Can I insight check that?
I mean, I'm sure it's very clear.
You need to roll above a 2.
Did he just lie? Did he lie?
Percy, you know better than to lie to me.
Okay, well, can we at least... Yes, his name is Edmund. We were together for a number of years, and now we're not.
Was it that tiefling?
Yes, what a sleuth you are.
I don't know mortal mating customs.
Well,
I know.
I can imagine they're very different where you're from.
Or play.
Can we go? I don't want to come back.
Oh, Arthur.
Fine. Yes, I've gotten the book. And did I grab the dagger as well?
Yes.
I really do want that dagger. Okay, cool.
Do you want to physically touch the book yourself, or do you want me to mage hand it up?
Yeah, I got it. I'll just stick it in the pack with the other one. I've still got devotionals to St. Oscar sitting on the side of
Very true.
Jasmine. So, I mean, you never know when they could be useful. I had half a mind to try to maybe sneak into the rectory and collect one or two of those robes, because you never know when they come in handy, but Percy seems rather impatient to leave, so I guess we'll go.
I was gonna try and get blood samples. No blood samples for me. Then let's go.
All right.
I mean, I've got a dagger covered in blood. I just don't know if it's the kind of blood that you were looking for.
What if you took your blood samples while they were having their terse X conversation?
Just awkwardly in the back, sticking syringes into the dead body.
It's like in the background.
Pay no mind to the large dragon man.
Samples of
defiling these corpses. I mean, it's Gothia. What would Gothia be without a little bit of desecration of a corpse?
Oh, I have my blood.
So I'm assuming you guys leave and re-enter the cathedral square.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is still crowded. There's obviously some people have left due to they were impatient, but there are still people kind of milling around and waiting around. I'll say that it's probably maybe around 3 p.m. now. There was a bit of time that, of course, took place during the investigation and the fight and other fights and things of that nature. So it's about 3 p.m. at the moment.
Lovely.
We're still 6 hours away. Shall we wait, or is there anything else to attend to?
I mean, I could maybe go for a nap, to be honest with you.
Not a bad idea. Can go take a quick rest.
Sure. Back to the
Down to Falcon.
That would be the one.
All right.
Is it possible to do like use identify?
Yeah, you can cast identify, either using a spell slot or as a ritual, though that would take 10 minutes.
I don't mind doing the ritual.
Cast. You can walk and cast.
Yeah.
What are you casting it on?
Ritual. On the blood. I mean, I feel like we already kind of know what's on there.
Is this like the CSI scene? If so, I want to be the ex-stripper from Vegas.
Well, you could try casting.
I want to be
it
Mariska
on the
Hargitay.
Book. I think the blood on that dagger is just blood
of the victim.
Yeah, of the victim.
But what I have is the blood of the infected.
Okay, well, give it a whirl.
What am I getting from?
I'm not sure if identify technically would be able to identify that.
Because it's not a magic. It's not technically a magic object, is it?
No, it is not.
Oh, okay.
So it wouldn't work. But I'm gonna say, even though you were casting it as a ritual, you'd know that you'd need something else, some other spell that would identify something else.
Does any of us have divine sense or anything?
Let me check.
Percy have divine sense?
You're a cleric. I think only paladins get divine sense.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'm playing in another game like every other week, and I'm a paladin in that. I'm like, I know where undead and demons are.
I mean, I have detect evil and good and detect poison queued up right now, but I think we know that it's evil.
Yeah. Detect poison would probably be the best one to do on mystery liquid.
All right. I'll use a detect poison on the mystery liquid.
Here, you can have it, dude.
It is definitely been poisoned with demon ichor.
Cool. It's it's as we thought. Demon ichor in his blood. hello.
Hi, Jasmine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the walk back to the Down Falcon, of course. It's peaceful. There doesn't seem to be things happening outside of the cathedral. And of course, Robin and Maggie are very accommodating. You pay for rooms, which I'm assuming is just the silver. I completely forget the price I set for the Down Falcon.
I thought it was 5 silver.
Yes, 5 silver a room.
Okay,
I believe. And of course, there's plenty of rooms for what you, whatever your needs would be at the moment.
We need to find a crime lab.
Crime.
Ask if you can borrow the kitchen.
Well, you are left to your own devices, so if you want to CSI Gothia it up, you totally can.
Yeah, we have 2 more items to look at.
What have we got?
Ooh.
Oh, are you talking about the book and the knife?
Yeah.
The knife is probably not magical. The book, you don't know. Might be the same as the other books you looked at.
I'm
Probably.
imagining that to be so.
Yeah.
Then why did we take him?
Is anybody else? She told us that they were going mad. She never mentioned. Now, I'm no expert because I'm relatively new here, but was it just me or was that man we just killed moving extremely erratically and fast for a human?
Yes, I would say so. Along with horrendous screams of countless murders whenever Arthur struck him.
That was
right.
That was a very fashionable way to prevent yourself from being wounded. I'll give him that.
Indeed. Well, you must recall it's not in the Dove's best interest nor the nature of her work to disclose everything.
Though, I mean, it could be pertinent to mention that the books are causing them to metamorphose into non-human creatures slowly.
It was never her intention for us to see that, though.
Fair.
Simply to collect information on its source. It was quite coincidental that we ran into, what was it, Brother Hall, or whatever remained of him today.
Yes. I think some rest is in due order before we handle the Illuminated Way.
Quite. Now, Percy, before we go take our much-deserved rest, I must know before we continue with our plans that you'll be all right with not knowing whether or not this gentleman, merchant that we are to eliminate is indeed the head of this particular operation. My job is not to know that, simply to complete the contract.
You see on his face, he probably hadn't even considered that he wasn't the head of the operation. I thought we thought that he was. Do we have reason to believe he isn't?
I have no reason to believe either direction. Just, making sure that my work won't be interrupted.
We are sure that he knows of the evil of his books, correct? We know that he's aware of it, at the very least, right?
He must be. It was in dozens of pots of ink in his shop.
I thought we had confirmed that.
Well, we have no idea if he's receiving instructions from another source. We have no idea if this is even the only shop that's doing this. There could be, and I hate to say it, there could be more of these shops all over Gothia. We simply don't know.
Well,
Not that I really should have
some
brought it
moral
up.
qualms, but you've been given a job, and I can't imagine I can convince you to stop.
No.
And I can't imagine that even should you stop, that the dove wouldn't simply handle it in a different way. But it does trouble me.
Well, then I'm sorry I brought it up.
It's like, right. I think I'm going to go lay down now.
Yeah. Same. Enjoy your rest.
Right. I'm gonna go like lay down, like have some thoughts about like, am I about to kill an innocent man? What would Saint Hypatia think about that? Probably not good. And like, hope I don't have any more stupid, weird dreams about blood oceans. That'd also be good. And then I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, there are not any dreams of blood oceans. I will leave it up to you whether or not you have dreams about your little friend there you had a run-in with at the cathedral. But
there's like an angry sex dream that goes on. Like...
Of course there is. Of course there is.
So after that, we can, unless anybody has anything else they want to do, we can fast forward to the sun setting, darkness creeping in, and people beginning to go about their nightlife as we get close to the time of the appointment with Gideon Herbert at the Illuminated Way.
Good morning.
God, Percy, what happened to your sheets?
Nothing. It's just leave me alone, Lark. I'm just gonna close the cupboard doors again.
Something smells.
You forget, Percy, how keen a sense of smell my Jasmine has. Lark, if you'd like to know more, I certainly can share.
You know what? All right, fucking go for it. I'm just gonna like walk out and like start like splashing my face with water in like the washroom.
Bring the sheet with you.
After Percy has left so that he can't hear it, I'm just gonna whisper to Arthur. I'm just gonna be like, I know exactly what that is, Arthur. I just like teasing him.
I know you do, and I love that you torture him so.
I'll come back. Are you perverts? Are you ready? Like,
just another moment. Now we're ready.
Lark's just casting prestidigitation to clean them so that the nice innkeeper ladies don't have to.
oh my god.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've had to role play a wet dream.
Be mindful now, my friends, that Jasmine has your scent in every way. So, just a thought.
But is she going to track me down with that one day? Like,
if the need arises.
Right. If I get captured, I know what to do so you can find me. Like...
Very true. Very true.
So you step out into the very familiar chilly nights of Gothia. No matter what season it is, it always seems to be a bit chilly. The shops along the cathedral square have long since seemed to shut up their doors and turn out their lights, except for the Illuminated Way, which seems to stay open later than most. And the hour of 9 draws near as the four of you close in on that particular location. What would you like to do?
So
when we get close, Lark's just going to be like, how do I get in there, though? He is going to be aware that I charmed him the other day. Probably not the best he sees me right off the bat.
Well,
true.
The goal they said that he might close up shop early. So maybe once all the scribes leave, you fly up to the second floor and come in.
My thoughts exactly.
And he hasn't, Rerek, he hasn't met you, correct?
No.
Well, how about we pose that I brought you here as another interested party.
Sure.
And we just need to, I guess, schmooze. Convince him to close up early so that he can be alone and we can have our little plan of whatever Lark's going to do to enthrall him. I'll make him weak and you and Arthur can finish the job as quick as we can, hopefully instantly. And we also need to retrieve the records because I don't want my name involved in this. Thank you, Arthur.
They learn so quickly. They learn so quickly. Perhaps it's best that I remain outside to stay on watch until such time as the shop has emptied a bit. Lark, could you maybe signal me when it's time?
Am I going in the shop then, or am I waiting outside of the shop? I'm just a little confused.
I guess maybe we should check and see if there is an open window you could get in.
Are there windows up there that we can see
Yes.
from here?
Yes, there are windows up there. It is obviously a shop that was meant to have a shop owner living above it, but
Yeah.
you're unsure. Like I said, the last time you were in there didn't seem to be a staircase going up to the second floor. But there certainly is a second floor.
We went to the second floor. How did we get there?
No, there wasn't a second floor. It's a split.
Oh.
It was a split single level.
Cool.
Can I fly up to the second floor and start peering through windows?
Yes, you may. Make me a perception check as you fly up there.
I just fly. Sometimes I forget that, other than to just jauntily make fun of people. Gravity doesn't work on me, bitch. Okay. So that is +2 to my perception checks. 17.
What was that, 17?
17, 15 +2.
You look in through the windows and it takes a little bit to kind of adjust since there are some lights in the square that cast shapes onto the window, but you look past it and you look in and it clearly is meant to be a residence, but there is no furniture. It looks as though no one has lived there. There's dust up there. There's probably maybe a paper or two laying on the floor. Some stains on the wall just from old age. The upstairs is completely abandoned.
I'll zip back down and just be like, well, it doesn't look to be lived in at all. There's dust everywhere, and some of the walls look like it's worse stained than Percy's sheets this afternoon.
Right. Well, that's suspicious. I'm sure you can open a window with a wave of your wand and infiltrate while we are distracting him. And I guess, Arthur, you can remain just outside and we can summon you when it's time.
I'd take a rope up with me to the window.
I'm afraid that might not be as inconspicuous as we might desire, because there's probably still a bunch of people milling about.
There's still people milling about in the square.
Well, once it gets dark,
I think a small fairy sneaking in might be able to sneak by, but a very large man and a cat going up a rope might draw some attention.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll just kind of attempt to look like I'm not lingering, loitering. I'll kind of mill about a bit. Stealth check to kind of blend in?
Sure. Yeah, let's do a stealth check.
I'm assuming you'll want me to check Jasmine as well.
Yes.
15 for me, 23 for Jasmine.
Yeah, Jasmine seems to just vanish as if...
Wait a second. I want. So we have the bird calling charm, right? We still have that.
Yes.
I don't
You
need to
still
like
have the
blow
bird.
into. I just like hold it and it works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you squeeze it and you can spend one of the charms to, I think it's within a point within 60 feet that you can see. You can cause a bird call to emanate from that spot.
So I'm going to say Arthur, and I'm going to hold up the bird charm. When you hear the call of an owl, that means it's time.
Oh, I thought you were gonna use that as a distraction. Just like a bird has gotten in your.
You better
in
go
there.
look.
Sounds perfect. Well, you certainly don't want to be late. We remember you need to make a good impression.
Yes, of course. Well, Rerek, want to go pretend to buy some books?
Yes, sir. I might actually get me a book. I don't know.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Not after what you know about this shop.
Okay.
So yeah, I will head into the shop.
The door swings open again. Ding, 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 ding. And once again, that same halfling, that same half elf, too many halves, is sitting at the desk and looks up and goes, "Oh, right on time for your appointment. Mr. Herbert, your 9 o'clock is here." And the familiar Mr. Herbert comes down the steps. "Oh, yes. Welcome. Ah, I see you've returned.
Yes.
Hopefully you won't be casting any charms on me this time."
Apologize for my friend. Fairies are difficult to get a handle of.
I understand. I see you've brought a friend.
Yes, I was quite impressed by the quality of your books, and my wizard friend here was I'm interested in talking about bringing more of your books to the church, and he was thinking of potentially taking some of your texts to the Academy of the Midnight Arts.
Indeed.
Ah, yes. Well, luckily for you, we have plenty of those. Are you looking for something a little bit more high quality, or?
I think for their libraries, definitely something very high quality that can be passed down for generations. And the church, myself, I'm more looking for a large number of books to be purchased for potential handing down to acolytes.
Ah, well, I see why you wanted to have your own appointment then.
Yes.
Well, if you would follow me for a second. And he goes back to where you had gone before. He invites you that direction.
Cool. Yeah.
As he walks, he kind of makes a gesture and goes, "You all can lock up. You can, you've done good work today. You can go home early. I have some business to attend to." And the people instantly just start packing up.
Yeah. I want to continue this charade for as long as it takes that I'm sure that everybody who works here has left. And then I want to use the bird call.
Okay.
Strangle
As
it.
they're all leaving, he takes you back to the very, very back, which has the raised sort of desk so that he can kind of get a better view that actually has a tiny little staircase that goes up to it. I have actually personally been working on a manuscript that your friend might be interested in. and he takes you up, and it's a quite a large book. And you can actually see there's tools for like gold leaf, and there's actual little sheets of gold leaf. Very expensive looking inks. Of course, some inks in some jars that you recognize. It's a big book, probably maybe that big, really big. Opened up, and he seems to be working on the left side of a huge illumination, and you instantly recognize this is a book for Saint Heskin, which is interesting because he's one of the rare non-human saints. He's actually a Dragonborn saint of, let me see what I put him as. I believe I put him as Temperance and Patience.
Which I don't have.
But he is working on a very sort of elaborate illumination of that with a variety of colors that you didn't see in the other books. The other books seem to only have black ink illustrations with maybe a bit of gray or a spot color of blue or red or yellow. This one is full color, and he is working on this large illumination of this very imposing dragonborn with his hands cupped, and tucked in it, is a squirrel with its tail wrapped around its body. There's no text at the moment. We have another copy of this lovely piece of work. And he delicately kind of lifts the page up so you can see all of the writing and illumination and other borders and things of that nature, and flips it back. We have one copy available. It will run you about 100 gold to purchase it, but it is very high quality, the highest quality vellum, the highest quality inks, and of course, lots of real gold leaf. I'm sure you would be very interested in this. And at this point, I'd like to say all of the scribes have left.
Yeah. So I grabbed the little stone, and I'm going to be, this is just beautiful. And I want to use one of the charges to summon a little owl sound outside for Arthur.
You do manage to look down the barrel of the shop to a spot outside of the window. It's very narrow from the angle, but you just managed to get a point outside, and Arthur, you do hear whoo, whoo, whoo.
Okay, I suppose it's time. So I'm gonna ready the dagger that I grabbed from the church. See, I was thinking ahead. So above game, here's how I'd like to do this, but I don't know exactly how the mechanics would work. So I want to try to like stealth creep like inside around the like that entry desk where the receptionist, office clerk, whatever, was sitting, like kind of go up the stairs. I don't know if there's, with the layout, a way that I could get around him to the back unnoticed. I mean, I'm very stealthy at just the mechanics of the building.
I want to be like talking kind of loud so he knows where we are.
Yeah, well, the layout seems to be, there's the stairs, so there's the desk, and then immediately behind the desk is the stairs. It's a short flight of stairs, probably about like 5 or 6, that go to a very open room with rows upon rows of desks that go back to the very back, where there is a raised platform with a large writing desk on it that is facing the door. So he's currently standing there. He can see everything. Of course, he is currently talking with Percy about the book that is on the stand. So there is a possibility that you could sneak by and kind of crouch down low and kind of slide by the desks. But it's a risk.
Okay. Perhaps the better way then is just an arrow through the temple and pray that my aim is good. So stealth check to enter the building, just to enter the building and go no further.
Yes, because there is a bell on the door, as you know.
Shit. Okay. I'll just have to pray that the conversation is loud enough he doesn't notice.
I can be loud.
Okay. Here we go.
That is an interesting book. It's very pretty.
19.
All right. Yeah, he doesn't seem to notice.
Nailed it. Okay.
You
Rolling for the
hear as the
arrow.
door opens very carefully and try and sneak by it, you hear kind of a very quiet slink.
We need to...
As you look up and you see the bell, you've caught it very gently and it's just sliding up. It's not going to ring unless you drop the door out from under it.
We need to work out Lark getting in too.
I was gonna say, am I supposed to be trying the windows upstairs at this point?
I think so, yeah. I think you were just kind of free to go in whenever.
Go for it.
Yeah.
How do can I try just opening a window? Are they locked? I don't know.
Can't prestidigitation open windows?
Yeah, I think prestidigitation can open unlocked windows, or is that thaumaturgy?
I thought
I think thaumaturgy is the one that does that.
Oh.
Prestidigitation can do campfires, tiny objects, and clean things.
Well, use them fairy hands.
Let me see here. Yep, I will
Can you mage hand through a window?
Yeah. Can I try to just mage hand to lift it? Because I'm pretty sure mage hand has more strength than I do.
Yes,
I'll try to mage hand the window open.
Yes. It seems most of these windows, interestingly, are painted shut, except for one that seems to be, while it is painted shut, awkwardly sitting so that there is a gap of about maybe that much that air is just going through. So you can very easily get the mage hand under that and just crack the paint and shove it up.
That's what I'll do. Because unfortunately, with the fairy's official release, I don't get to shrink down and get through passageways anymore.
I noticed that.
Yeah, instead I get enlarge, reduce slapped onto my spell list once we hit level 5.
I know, that's so dumb.
Yeah, I was like, the cool thing is gone. I get a free, I think it's a 3rd level spell a day, which I guess is cool. But like, the other thing's cooler and I can do it more often.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do that and I'll just fly into this room. I've got dark vision, so I don't need no light to see.
Yeah, it's like you saw through the window. There is nothing different about this place.
I guess is the door to this room open? Does it have a door leading to a hallway or anything?
It seems the doors have been removed. There are just no doors on any of the rooms. There's just the frame.
Okay, I'll just float through the frame and I guess keep my eyes out while I look for a way down. Or look for anything.
There is a staircase that leads down, but when you get to the bottom, you see that there's kind of been a ramshackle wooden barricade that's been put up and plastered over at the bottom of the steps.
Uh-oh.
Can I hear them through the room or anything, or through this?
Yes, plaster? You can hear people talking. Okay. It seems more for appearances than actually keeping people out.
Okay. And I didn't notice anything else upstairs. No.
It's completely empty. Aside from maybe a wonky floorboard that might squeak if you jump on it enough times.
We don't touch the ground here.
Very true.
That's for you poor mortals that can't fly.
Okay.
While he figures that out, if I above game, like aim very carefully and hit, I think I can just like take this guy out with an arrow to the temple.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You've done it before.
Excellent. Well,
You've done
that's
it
true.
before.
Okay. Well,
Just
you know what? Just in case, let me hunter's mark him first.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and let me. I think Percy kind of just understanding that, like, okay, I used the bird call. Arthur's quick on the draw. I got like 10 seconds before he's about to shoot this guy. So Percy's gonna kind of have a little moment here and be like, I need to know something. Did you know about the demonicker?
He does, at this point, pause. You don't even need an insight check. He very clearly
Cool.
pauses and his eyes go over and just glare at you.
Yeah, I glare right back, and I'm gonna use my my channel divinity on him. I'm like, you're evil, and you deserve death. And
I ready my face.
Green smoke
Like-
travels all over him.
And he kind of roars, "A trap!" And he kind of then tries to push away the cloud, but it wraps around him. And I'm assuming that's when you take the shot.
17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Boom.
All right, roll the damage. As I get my calculator out.
Oh, 13.
13 points.
That was a really rough roll.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Times 2.
yeah. Oh, times 2? Because, yes, times 2.
Vulnerability.
This is-
Thank God.
So that was, you said 13?
13.
I'll just, all right. Yeah, this arrow comes sailing in and right in the neck, underneath the jaw. And he reaches up and pulls the arrow out, looks at it, and then turns to look at you, Percy, and just goes, "This was a trap. A trap." And I'd like everybody to roll initiative.
Woo, damn. Herbie's
That's gonna be
stronger
a
than we
fight.
thought he was.
I was like about to ask if like, oh, I was gonna ask if like, do we burn him in here or out there?
Well, we're gonna burn him after he's dead.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna die instantly. I guess not.
Well, so did we.
I was hoping he just took an arrow to the chin.
Yeah, he's
like,
gonna be like a whole ass
An
demon
arrow
or
to the
something.
throat.
yeah, like
So what's everybody's initiative?
15.
15 for Arthur.
I got an
Yeah.
8.
8 for Percy. Lark and Rerek.
Yeah,
That's their ship name.
That's only after we do the fusion dance.
Yes.
What's your initiative?
I got
I
a
got a
3.
5.
All right.
I'm still
5
trapped
for
with a
Lark,
fucking
3 for Rerek.
arrow.
All
We are
right.
not fast.
So Arthur, you are up first. You and Jasmine.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna fire again.
All right.
Okay. That was, oh, hang on, let me do again. Because it's one of my things, advantage if he hasn't acted yet. So 23 to hit with longbow.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Yeah, nice. Okay. And
There
what
it
is with these crap rolls? Okay. That is 12 damage.
All right. So you release another arrow and it into his shoulder. and he looks up over the desks to see, I guess you've stood up, you standing up with your bow over the desk, and kind of glares and just, you. And I'm assuming it's Jasmine's turn now?
Yes, me. And yeah, I'll have Jasmine sort of run, I guess, the best she can through this business and go for another pounce with a claw attack.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's probably close enough for her to just go for him.
Okay, here we go. That is 19 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Excellent. Before I give you damage, DC 12 strength check.
Well, that was a 14.
Well, okay.
Yep,
so
14.
So he doesn't get knocked prone, but I will give you damage for claw, which is, hang on one second. Okay, favored enemy, but not that. Okay. That is D6 plus 5. 7 damage per claw.
7. All right. So now, after she pounces on him and slashes him and you've shot him with an arrow, it is now his turn. And I got to get another stat block up.
Can I, before Jasmine ends her turn, can I have her like retreat like as many feet as she has left, which is whatever that distance was minus 50?
Yeah, I'm going to say she has 10 feet of movement left. It's 40
right.
feet to the back of the room.
Then we'll just have her come back 10 feet.
Yes. If I can actually get to the diggity darn stat block here, things are going to happen. Okay. So, Gideon Herbert looks at you and darts between all of you. I knew I'd have to deal with people like you at some point. And he takes his sleeve and he whips his sleeve up, and there's tattoos all down his arm. They take the shape of silhouettes of different skulls and bones of various types. And he touches 2 fingers to his forearm, and a skull and a bunch of bones vanish. And arising with a spectral neighing from the center of the room is a spectral ghost horse that just appears in the center of the room. He then is going to, because he sees you and he's not very happy about you, Arthur. He pulls up his hand and this weird purplish green energy crackles around his hand, and he fires a bolt straight down the center of the shop. And oh my goodness, that's like a 20-something to hit.
Oh, yeah, that definitely hit. May I like cry out something like as I get hit with this?
Yes.
So I'll just like kind of as best I can. Percy, silence. There are still people outside.
So that is 16 points of necrotic damage as just slams into you. Additionally, the spectral horse is going to gallop over to, if it can, I think it can probably reach Percy. It rears up and swipes its hooves at you.
That's not very cute.
And that is 9 doesn't hit, of course.
No.
You dodge backwards as this horse with its hooves, and it remains there. It is your turn, Percy.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast silence right on all of us.
All right, you drop the silence. And would you like to do anything else before the end of your turn?
I think the only bonus action I have is my spare the dying, and no one's dying. So I guess I'll just like back up. Will I get an attack of opportunity if I back up from the horse?
Yes, I think you would get an attack of opportunity from Gideon Herbert and from the horse.
I'm gonna not do that then. I'm just chill here.
Which does mean you cannot cast spells with verbal components because...
Yeah, it super does.
Yeah. So that means that Lark, it is now your turn. You have heard Gideon Herbert roar that it's a trap. You have heard spell casting. You've heard something get fired down the barrel of the building, and you hear horse noises.
The worst of all.
The weirdest of all. But you are still behind this kind of rickety wooden barricade with plaster.
Okay. I mean, I suppose I should go help, or I can run away. But helping's whatever. I'm just gonna cast. Am I in the? I'm not in silence, right?
I would say no. It's what, a 20-foot radius or 20-foot diameter?
Look that up.
It's 20-foot
I
something.
think it's 20 feet. I think you're right. Show me this. There's silence. Range is 20-foot radius.
Well, I'm not in silence though, right?
No, I would say you're probably on the very edge of it, but it doesn't catch you.
I'm gonna just be like, oh, okay, and I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the plaster wall in front of me.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take much. You just reach out your hand and boom, it just explodes. And of course, you watch in silence as silently the wall just suddenly flies apart, and there's a roughly rectangular shaped hole that Lark then boop, 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 floats out through.
Okay, so can I tell by just the fact that my explosion made no noise that it just entered silence?
Well, it did make noise.
Okay.
Percy and Rerek just can't hear it. They just see the wall, just like things go flying and no sound happens. But you hear the wood slam into the ground, the plaster crack, the sound of the spell actually hitting it.
Okay. I'm just wondering if I know where silence is at or not. Probably not. What do I have that isn't verbal?
Well, you can cast into silence with a verbal spell. You just can't cast in it or out of it with a verbal spell.
Okay. So I'm just gonna float into the room after blowing up the wall, and I'm gonna hex the dude. Hex Herbert the pervert. There's no saving throw with it. It's just like Hunter's Mark. Hey, my cat's trying to eat my graham cracker. Get away. Oh, weirdo. Okay. Doesn't want love. I'm just gonna hex him and then use whatever I've left of my movement speed to fly upwards. Vertical. Get me away from these bastards. And
probably not your full movement speed. It's probably maybe like probably a 15-foot ceiling.
Yeah.
Just because of...
I'm just gonna snipe from outside because I don't have any sorcery points left.
Ooh.
Yeah, I forgot meta magic takes 2, not 1, so I spent all of them. Unless I want to start burning spell slots for sorcery points.
Very true. You could do that. So I guess that is the end of your turn. And Rerek, it's your turn.
And I finally noticed everything happening.
What is he hexed for?
So beyond the damage buff, for me, I'm gonna say the ability check. We're gonna do wisdom. I don't know if that's gonna be important at all, but if he makes any sort of ability check involving wisdom, he has disadvantage on it. So like,
all right.
I don't know, or passive perception, or I don't know. Don't notice me, senpai, please.
He's definitely noticed.
I just did some interior redecorating, okay?
All right, so Rerek, it is your turn. At last.
Right. Whoops.
Oh.
All right. All right. I want to cast Firebolt.
Does that have verbal components? Because you are definitely in the silence.
Also, please don't.
I have no idea.
However, I will say you're probably standing behind Percy, which means that you
I thought I was like right beside him.
Well, battle map speaking, you are not within range of opportunity attacks from either Herbert or the Ghost Horse.
Ew.
So if you wanted to book it out of the silence, you could. And then cast in.
Sure.
Unless you have a spell that doesn't require verbal components, and then you can just stay put.
How would I know that? The letter
Under
V?
components, it should say V.
Like the letter V? Okay.
The letter V, and then S is for like hand gestures, and M is for materials, which, I mean, unless it's something very specific that would make sense for you to have, it's like, I don't want this to turn into the D&D home shopping network. You can just cast the spell. I'm not going to make you pick up gallons of bat guano and sulfur.
Do you have Fireball already? I thought we were only level 4.
No, he doesn't have Fireball, but okay. I was just naming an example because that's what you need in order to cast Fireball is bat guano and sulfur.
You would have access to knockoff discount Fireball right now. It's called Shatter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I'm gonna have to move out of this silence.
You definitely can, and there are no attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
So you are now out of the silence, backed up, really close to the hole in the wall with Lark floating above your head.
Okay. And I think that's it, because I can't really. For my turn, will that be it?
You can still cast a spell. You've used your move, but you have an action and a bonus action.
Oh, sweet. Then Firebolt.
Yep. Roll for attack.
Oh, okay.
Surprise, I have Fireball.
Yeah, you said Fireball, and I was like, I'm going to die.
Is that what you thought I was saying? No, it was Firebolt.
Sorry, Percy.
I think we both heard Fireball instead of Firebolt, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Papa needs some new shoes.
Like your Percy original recipe or extra crispy?
And you're also
do I throw a
D10 in front of you, so I'm like, I'm good.
Do I throw a D10?
D20.
D20. 17.
Yes, that hits. And then I believe Fireball is a D10 damage.
Yes.
Also, cantrips scale at 5th level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5th and 11th. 17.
So next level up, our cantrip damage goes up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the damage on your Firebolt?
D10 fire damage.
Roll the D10 for damage. Yeah. So I know how much I'm subtracting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's been a while.
It's a 2.
Well, better than nothing.
Yeah.
So you send this firebolt sailing into the silence, and it whistles for about maybe 10 feet before, and just continuing in silence before splashing across him, and he kind of roars in pain, but you don't hear anything as he kind of swipes his arms. And that is the end of your turn, and it is back up to the top with Arthur.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, I thought it was on me for a second. Bonus action, but actually really quick. If I read everything right, no one's within 5 feet of Herbert. Correct?
Percy is within 5 feet of Herbert.
Yeah.
Nuts. All right, I'll skip Hail of Thorns. Yeah, we're just gonna fire the longbow.
Fair enough.
And that is a 21 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
And hang on. 17 for damage.
Ooh. So you fire. The arrow sails through and hits him in the chest, and he doubles forward. You notice the horse disappears.
Yes.
And then his tattoos begin to glow green. He raises up his hands and looks at them. And you see a pure look of joy on his face before he bursts into flames. He turns into a column of green flames, changing the hit points, that roars into the air. You see his flesh seems to melt away. His skeleton seems to transform into dust. And the only thing left is this floating skull on fire with this column of fire in the vague shape of a human that seems to still be around. Is there anything else you would like to do with your turn?
Just primeval awareness. Is he undead now?
Quickly flipping to another stat block because I believe he is. Yes, he is.
Okay, cool. Nope, that is it for me. However, Jasmine can still go for another claw attack with a pounce. Unless he's immune to prone.
I believe he is immune to prone.
Well, then
because
we'll just
he is
go
a
with
floating skull.
Claw attack it is. We'll have her like kind of go in, attempt the attack, and come back again. Same thing I did last time. Let me get my D20. Bam. Woof. Holy hell. Okay. Even with the bonus for favored enemy, that's still only a 13.
That is exactly enough.
Oh, thank the gods. Okay, so we're gonna do boop, 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 boop. D6. That'd be 11.
Ooh. Oops. Yes. So she swipes and hits the skull, and it spins a little bit. Then it is its turn. And I have to get out. I have so many books open right now.
Worst assassination ever.
Well, I mean, you didn't know he was going to do all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah, the old man.
Yeah, no shit.
Like,
Thanks, Dove.
The
I
D&D
thought I was gonna have like a
influence of,
cool, like,
Big
ha,
Off.
gotcha. Here's a curse. Now you're an arrow and you're dead because you're old.
This thing seems to leap and fly into the air. Does he have flyby? No, he doesn't. So Percy and Jasmine get attacks of opportunity against him as he flies off into the air.
Excellent.
I hit him with my mace.
All right.
That is gonna be a 12.
Not enough.
Sweet.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna go for another claw attack. Oh, critical failure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He's just too fast. And he flies forward to about the center of the room and is outside of the silence. And just, it works, it works. Praise Osebus, it works. And then he opens his mouth, flames shoot out of his eyes, and firing out of his mouth to you, Arthur.
Lovely.
Slamming into the desk right in front of you and exploding. Let me check a radius. Funny you should mention fireball. 20-foot radius explosion blows out the front of the shop. And Arthur, and actually, a little bit of, yes, Rerek and Lark. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I was so hoping you'd say dex. Okay, hang on. I have something about saving throws.
One moment while I look at
go.
how much. Yep. Okay.
17.
Ugh.
That passes. 9. That fails.
Of course it does.
One moment.
I literally have the highest dexterity that's absolutely possible, and I got a damn 9.
Okay, so
I'm like the opposite of that.
Y'all should try just not getting hit.
Oops.
Thanks, Percy. Appreciate it.
Man, I thought an easy assassination job.
Ooh,
yeah, so much for stealth.
Roll too well. Those of you that failed, as this fireball explodes the front of the shop, you take 30 points of fire damage. Everybody who succeeded takes 15 points of fire damage. Where if you succeeded, you're resistant to fire, so that means you only take 7 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do death saves work again?
Oh no.
It's on your turn. You roll Constitution and you have to roll a 10 or above, and then you get a success.
Yay!
Well,
just busy
don't
dying.
need...
Woo!
And also, ooh, he has the fit weight. Ooh.
Holy hell.
A symbol glows on his forehead, and rising on top of a desk in the middle of the room is a skeletal, ghostly monkey.
Because why not?
I think that's his thing.
A whole damn
animals.
zoo up in here. Just undead zoo.
Monkey.
I am loving this.
I'm not.
I'm sure.
I would be mildly amused if I wasn't busy choking on my own blood.
Yeah.
I have to make a concentration check for Hex.
Yes, you do.
How much? What do I have to pass if I took 30 points of damage?
It's half the damage, so 15.
Okay.
It's 10 or half the damage, whatever's higher. And it's a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, that's not
I was like planning on having us like use mending and shit to make it look like we were never here. So
no, front of the shop is just gone.
That's just not gonna happen, I guess.
It's not gonna mend.
Succeed, fail.
Oh, I failed it. I only got a 10.
Hex is gone. Then you are no longer concentrating on Hex. All right. And I believe now the monkey can act. And it's going to go for Rerek, who's right there. The skeletal monkey runs up to you as I flip past the stat block. Too far. And it's going to make an attack against you. Does a 12 hit?
What?
Does a 12 hit
your
AC?
My what? I'm sorry. My what?
Your armor class, very top of your character sheet, in the middle.
Okay. 12.
Does a 12?
It says 12 there.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it
that's
hits
a hit.
you.
Squishy Dragonborn wizard.
Oh dear. So you take 7 points of necrotic damage. Oh, actually, no, 9 points of necrotic damage.
I'm dying.
And your strength score is reduced by 1.
Okay.
Until further notice. And that's the end of Herbert's go. Up next is
Herbert the Death
Percy.
Skull.
Is Percy.
Percy is he's still in the silence bubble, so you just see him mouth the word fuck. And then I'm gonna run out. I'll heal you in 1 second, Arthur. I'll use my bonus action to cast Spare the Dying on him.
So no death saving throws for Arthur. You are just completely stable.
So I just go back to what, 0 HP, but not dying?
Yes.
Okay.
0 HP, but you're stabilized.
1 second. I just want to try to end this quick, maybe. And I'm going to use my new item that will allow me to use my Channel Divinity once per day. I'm going to do it one more time to summon one of my plumes of green smoke that all envelop him to give him weakness. And I say, hit him hard, Lark!
And up next is, in fact, Lark.
Okay, so he now has vulnerability to whatever I hit him with next?
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
So would that include if I hit him with a spell attack that does 3 attacks, or is it just the first one?
It would just be the first one, I think.
So not Scorching Ray. I mean, okay.
And also, he is a skull that is on fire.
But vulnerability, right?
I have a question. What's the difference between immunity and resistance?
So resistance means when you take damage, you get half damage. Because you are a gold dragonborn, you're resistant to fire, and you succeeded on the saving throw, which meant that you took like a fourth of the damage instead of half or the full. So if a creature is resistant, it takes half damage to that. If it's immune, it takes no damage.
Because it looks like I have both resistance and immunity.
You should only have resistance. Immunity is for like high level monsters or things like that. Player
like
characters don't get immunities. Yeah. Player characters typically don't get immunities. So
just for flavor, I think I want my Spare the Dying to kind of look like these like green plumes of smoke hands that like come out of me and then just sort of like caress Arthur and like move his body into like being in like a coffin like pose.
So comforting.
Yeah.
I think that's a 21 to hit.
With?
I'm going to do Chaos Bolt.
Chaos Bolt. Yes, so that definitely hits if it's a 21.
Yeah, so it's 2d8 plus 2d6 damage because I spent a second level spell slot for it. And since it's only one attack, you should have vulnerability to it. thanks to whatever it is.
You'll have to tell me what damage type it is, because we do have reasons.
Of course there are reasons.
Yes.
2. So my options between 6 and 2 are either poison or cold. He looks like he's on fire. I'm going to pick cold.
Woo!
You fire this beam of cold. The snow and ice melt upon hitting the fire, hissing and spitting and crackling, but this thing is still going. It is immune to cold damage.
Well,
if it makes you feel any better, it is also immune to poison damage, so oops.
That was my next attack too, was an ice stab.
Well,
but don't worry, I believe the thing still goes until...
Yeah, it's until a successful hit.
Or the beginning of your next turn, I think.
I think so, yeah.
One or the other. So it's Rerek's turn now.
Okay, 1 second, let me look.
You do have the weird skeletal ghost shadow monkey in front of you, and the flaming skull flying in the air that just blew out the front of the shop.
And he's the one that's immune to cold.
Yes.
Damage.
Yeah, but he is vulnerable right now to anything else.
Okay. Holy crap. I feel like I ran out of shit. Let me use frostbite on the monkey.
Let me check real quick. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. What does frostbite do? Is it an attack roll or is it a saving throw?
Saving.
All right.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that was a natural 20.
Yeah.
So you lash out with this cold damage and nothing happens to the monkey. It just kind of dodges it entirely. And we are, if that is the end of Rerek's turn, we are back up to Arthur, who is stable. I think Jasmine can still act because she is still alive. She has not taken any damage.
Right. She's still fine. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can't really do shit because I'm just kind of sitting here barely not dead. So I'm gonna have Jasmine attack the floaty flamey skull thing, I think.
Can she leap that high? It is floating up in the air a bit.
Well, I mean, I don't know. She has well, I'll give you some stats and you let me know. So her speed is 50, her climb is 40, her strength is 14.
I think vertical jump is half of your strength score, I want to say, but I will say with the climb speed, I'll allow her to run up the bookcase and then just leap diagonally.
That'll do.
She'll run diagonally up the bookcase and then leap sideways.
It is 3+ strength modifier for the record for high jump.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I can go for that.
Yeah.
And then claw attack, I guess.
Yes.
That's all we got. So let me just roll her. For the love of tits, 12.
Nope, that is not enough. She lands on the ground after swiping at this thing, and it just spins and pirouettes in the air, still laughing in the air with this vaguely humanoid-shaped flame. And she lands in the center of the room. So this time,
Excellent.
it is Herbert's go. He is going to look at you, Percy, and he is going to open his mouth, and out of his mouth comes magic missile, which then doesn't hit you because of your brooch of shielding. You are completely immune to the magic missile spell. And he just roars in the flames. And he's going to use his bonus action to cause another plume of mist to rise up directly next to you.
Oh, don't do that.
And floating,
this time, a zebra?
slithering into the air is a cobra that bobs back and forth, a skeletal, ghostly cobra, before it goes to strike at you.
Not a fan.
And let me get back to the stat block because I have too many stat blocks open. Another 9. So
Woo!
you dodge out of the way as this cobra.
I'll never die. I'm gonna live forever.
The monkey is still in existence. So Rerek, it's gonna attack you. And it whiffs with a natural 1.
Oh, cool.
The monkey kind of whoosh, and misses you entirely. And that is and that is the end of Herbert's go. And up now is Percy.
Woo. So unfortunately, all of my little green fog goes and fades away. He is no longer vulnerable. But I'm just gonna try to slink past the cobra to heal Arthur.
I'd say that you could probably stay within the threat radius since it's
okay.
So you can heal Arthur.
I will do that. Let me get my. Let me look up cure wounds. Where are you, cure wounds?
It should be a D4 plus your wisdom modifier. No, that's healing word.
It's 1d8 plus my
D8
ability modifier. And I think I'm going to use my last second level spell slots to cast it at second level.
Alrighty.
So that is 2d8 plus my ability modifier. Got my own d8. There you are. That is a 7 and a 5 plus my ability modifier, which I think is a 5 plus 4. So that is 15 or 16. 16.
Yep.
So
I got it.
Arthur, you back awake to see Percy standing over you, a shadowy cobra bobbing next to him, the weird fiery skull laughing and cackling and spinning, and the entire front of the shop blown out.
Seems like I missed a lot.
And unless you have anything left to do, Percy, we're moving on to Lark.
I'm good.
I guess I should do a spell that can damage him. But first, a hex.
Of course.
I'm gonna hex him. I'm gonna say wisdom again. Hopefully, I don't know. He's probably not wise. He turned himself into a fucking undead. It's fine. So I'm gonna hex him and with my bonus action, and then I'm just gonna try to Eldritch Blast him.
All right. Fire away.
22 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Which will be a d10 of force damage plus a d6 of necrotic damage. Do you need to know those separately?
The necrotic damage, yes.
Okay. Force damage is a 10.
What's the necrotic damage?
Necrotic damage is a 4. The force damage is a 10.
4 is already halved.
4 is not halved. No, 4 is what I rolled on the d6
2,
first.
and then 10 for
10
force.
damage.
Ooh. So yeah, you just absolutely blast him, and he somersaults through the air from the sheer force of it. And is that the end of your turn?
I'm just gonna drift away from people so that we're not in range of an AoE again.
Yeah.
I'm like 30 hit points was almost my entire.
Woof.
Yeah. Lark is
Yeah.
there by a tiny tether to this reality still. So he's just gonna fly away from everybody, but also not get close to the fucking skull. Other corner of the room.
You can certainly do that. And now we're with Rerek. There is still that weird skeletal shadow monkey dancing around. There's now a cobra, and the flame skull thing is still whizzing around in the air.
This is so exhausting. I think I have one more attack spell, damaging spell that.
Do you have any spell slots for magic missile still?
I didn't declare. I think it should have been. Actually, I was reading it, and I think it should have been. That one should have been replenished. So yeah, maybe I should do magic missile.
Because you have your arcane recovery during the short rest.
Yeah.
So you can pick either 2 first level spell slots or 1 second level spell slot.
I want to do. My thing is a mess. My whole screen is a mess. Magic missile, first level.
Uh-huh.
I don't have another first level that's like. So what are cantrips?
Cantrips are just spells that you can cast an unlimited amount of times. They're generally damage-wise pretty weak.
Okay. Well, I don't have another first level that's used.
So who are you shooting with the magic missile? I think you can split all the darts so you can fire it at multiple targets.
I have 5.
You have
darts.
4, because that's first level magic missile.
Yeah.
Second is 5.
Okay. Can I do the second level magic missile?
If you have a second level slot.
I do.
Then you can do the second level magic missile.
And
so you have 5 darts to play with. Who are you
darts.
hitting? All the same target or splitting them up? Or
let's see. Can I do like 3 on the skull and 1 each for this cobra and the monkey?
Yes, you may.
All right. 1 second.
So let's do the skull first, and then we'll do the cobra, then the monkey.
Okay. The skull, I got a 4, a 2, and a 2.
All right. The darts hit into the skull, once again, sending it tilt-whirling around in its space. And next up, the cobra.
Another 2.
All right. You hit the cobra with this magic missile, and it recoils and hisses. And the monkey?
1.
You hit the monkey on the foot, and it hops, and then hops to the other foot.
Yeah, I hate this monkey thing.
All right. So if that's the end of your turn, then Arthur, it is your turn.
Okay, here goes nothing. I'm gonna just fire at the flaming skull thing again.
Yep.
You know what? Actually, again, has anybody moved? Like, is anybody within 5 feet of this guy still?
There
Or
is
'cause
no
he's, like,
one within
flown
5
up.
feet.
How about the rest of the enemies?
They're all on the ground. This thing's up in the
Okay,
air.
so he's way. Okay, so it's just him. All right, that's
Yes.
safe. So I'm gonna bonus action Hail of Thorns. He's still under Hunter's Mark. Don't let me forget that.
Of course.
So let me roll that sucker. $22 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Excellent. Okay, so let me give you damage for the bow.
It's not going to take very much to kill him. Just so you know.
13.
Oh, yeah. You fire this thing, and it hits the skull straight through the eye socket. And you see, once again, the tattoo begin to glow, and then it... And you hear, no! As he begins to float to the ground, the flames... You failed me. And the skull lands to the ground. The monkey vanishes. The cobra vanishes. And the shop is silent. Although there is
And
plenty
also a
of...
wreck.
There's also plenty of people
What?
running around in the street, screaming, yelling, crying out for help. But everything is done. And on the floor seems to be a skull made out of emerald. Just laying on the floor.
Can I have that skull?
You certainly can. And as you pick it up, you see the carving of a really odd looking symbol on the forehead flicker for a moment. And the bookshelf at the back of the room slides aside to reveal an archway and a staircase that goes down. And
Totally
that is
called
where
it.
we are going to end the episode. We had to go a little bit long because we had to make sure that the combat was over, because I did not want to come back to this mess because more things might have been summoned.
That thing
Yeah.
is the most annoying so far.
It was insane. I almost died on round 2?
Oh,
3?
yes. This was an interesting character that I had
was
in the
close
bag.
too.
So, hopefully, we will see you all next week. Stay tuned to see what happens with the weird emerald skull and the weird opening in the back of this strange shop. Goodbye.